Wait a minute. Hold on, stop. You see, you can't create this if you're constantly getting this. Now, disconnections on drones are not only incredibly annoying, but they are also quite unsafe in emergency situations because it means you're not in control of your drone at all times. Now, when DJI launched the Mini 3 Pro, they gave us ocusync 3.0. They promised that this new technology was going to be over and above so much better than what we've seen before with a much stronger signal. But that wasn't quite the case. You see, complaints were plentiful regarding the Mini 3 Pro signal, with people suffering from more disconnections than ever before. However, it does have to be said that in my testing between the Mini 3 Pro with ocusync 3 and the Mini 2 with ocusync 2, I didn't particularly notice a difference between the two systems, with disconnections occurring usually around the same point. So when DJI launched the Air 3, they also introduced us to ocusync 4.0, once again promising the strongest connection possible. And as you may well be aware, this technology is now inside the newly launched DJI Mini 4 Pro. So is this just a case of same old, or is ocusync 4.0 actually better? And if it is better, why is it better? Let's find out. So let's talk about ocusync 4.0. Is it just another marketing tool leading people to believe that 4 is better than 3 and DJI have said it's much better, so it must be? Well, not exactly. You see, for the first time ever, DJI have actually introduced a third frequency within their ocusync 4.0 signal bandings. You see, we not only have the 2.4 and 5.8 traditional frequencies, we also have this brand new frequency, which is at 5.2 gigahertz. Right, I hear you say. What does this mean for me, and why is it better? Well, despite people believing that ocusync is some sort of weird alien technology developed by DJI, it's actually just using the traditional 2.4 and 5.8 GHz frequencies that your home Wi-Fi router kicks out. Now, this is where ocusync comes in. You see, ocusync is DJI's name for the drone's ability to be able to scan for interference whilst in flight and then dynamically switch between frequencies in order to give the strongest signal possible. But there's a problem, because this is like jumping out of the frying pan straight into the fire. You see, both of these Wi-Fi frequencies are quite heavily congested. Both home Wi-Fi routers kick out both of these frequencies generally at the same time. However, I have shown on my channel numerous times how this process can sometimes go wrong, and the DJI drone gets it wrong. Sometimes in flight I have seen a drone with a perfectly strong signal on one particular frequency just randomly for no reason switch to the more congested frequency, then suffer a signal dropout. However, with a 5.2 GHz frequency, this shouldn't be the case, basically because nobody's using it, and the fact that nobody's using it should mean that if the drone is operating on that frequency, you should have a much stronger signal. Now, DJI marketing will tell us that with ocusync 4, this DJI Mini 4 Pro should be able to travel around 20 kilometers away from the controller. It has to be said that this is tested under perfect conditions and under American FCC broadcasting power. Now, if you don't know what that means, essentially in the US, DJI can physically broadcast at a higher power than what they can in European countries or CE countries, and this explains why some people struggle for range whereas others do not. So, how are we going to do this? Range testing has long since been outlawed, not only by the UK drone regulations, but most certainly the court of public opinion. Long gone are the days where I will be flying the DJI Mavic Mini 4 kilometers over the Humber estuary to test signal. And whilst these might show the ultimate range of the drone, unfortunately they're not really a tough test, because when you're flying a drone at that sort of distance over water or over a desert, you're not really getting much interference. Now, my idea is, rather than doing a range test flying far and wide, I'm going to perform a signal test, putting the drone in a high interference area, essentially where it should fail, and see how it compares not only against itself but against the competition. Therefore, I've also brought the DJI Mini 2 with its ocusync 2.0 and a Mini 3 with its ocusync 3.0 along for the ride, so you can see for yourself the differences between the three systems. This route looks quite simple and not too far in terms of distance, but incredibly tough. Not only are we flying in a high interference urban area, but we also have what I call the corner of death at the end of the chalky path. This is the left turn that basically kills the connections for pretty much every drone I've tested, and the only drone that has ever made this turn without losing connection is the Autel Nano Plus, which incidentally also has that 5.2 GHz frequency. So let's begin the test with the DJI Mini 2. To make this a fair fight, we're going to fix on that 5.8 GHz frequency, which is the right one for flying in these sort of situations. We're going to fly at that 50 meters in height, and I want you to pay close attention to the compass in the bottom left corner. Providing that little dot on the compass is glowing green, that means I cannot fudge this test because I am efficiently pointing the controller towards the drone at all times. Now, one thing as we are conducting the beginning of this test I'd like to mention is I genuinely hate flying in these situations. I don't like to invade on anybody's privacy. However, if I'm going to bring you a tough test to put these drones through its paces, unfortunately for this situation, needs must. Flying at this sort of altitude, we're going to get a ton of interference on those 2.4 and 5.8 GHz frequencies. So now I've reached the chalky path right here. The DJI Mini 2 has performed okay so far, but now we're going to take this left turn and follow the path a little bit further along. Now, as we are flying forwards along this chalky path, usually around the 320 to 340 meter mark, that's where the drone starts to struggle. And as you can see, basically, as we've just got to the end where we are about to take our left turn, we are getting a huge interruption in our signal. Now, this is possibly one of the worst situations you can ever find yourself in, because what's actually happening right now is the signal and video feed seems to be dipping in and out. And this means that because the drone still thinks it's got a link to the controller, albeit a very weak one, it means the return to home function will not kick in. So essentially, you could find yourself in a situation where the return to home isn't quite kicking in, but also it's not controllable due to the poor connection. And this is a complete nightmare scenario and may basically catch so many of you out if you aren't new to flying. But the signal does eventually drop out and that return to home does initiate, and it's on its way back, all the way back to the home point. So testing now with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. This is the ocusync 3.0, and this is the drone that most people struggled with, in my opinion. So once again, fixing on that 5.8 GHz frequency, we're going to commence that flight. The exact same situation, except it's a little bit quicker than the Mini 2. Now, what we're going to do is same thing again. We're covering the exact same flight path, as you can see, to ensure this test is as consistent as possible. Once again, as we take that left turn, travelling down chalky path, we already know the danger spot where we generally lose the connection. So let's just look out and see exactly what happens with the Mini 3 Pro. And once again, as you can see, as we are getting closer, we're going to get a little glitch in our connection. And then with the Mini 3 Pro, unlike the Mini 2, we're just going to get a much quicker and cleaner break in that connection. Okay, so we've got the black screen of death, we've lost our telemetry in the bottom corner, and ultimately the drone has failed at the same point as the Mini 2. Return to home has now kicked in, and it's going to make its way back all the way back to the home point. So the third and final test, the one you are waiting for, is of course the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Going into the transmission tab, we cannot fix on that 5.2 GHz frequency. However, thankfully for this test, you can see it is picking up that 5.2. It's not choosing the 5.8, which it would have done normally because it has got that new feature. So commencing with the test then, and I have got really high hopes for this one, not only because I've told absolutely so many viewers so far that ocusync 4 will be a complete game changer. If it doesn't actually complete the circuit, I'm going to look a complete idiot. So I'm really hoping it does. So once again, the Mini 4 Pro has just got so much more acceleration, especially in this strong wind, than what the Mini 3 Pro has. So we've reached that top speed of 10 meters per second, which I have set in the DJI Fly app to try and make this a fair test. So as we take that left turn along chalky path yet again, okay, everything is absolutely fine as we would expect it to be. Now, where the other two drones have failed at this point, we're going to attempt to make that left turn to continue on our circuit. Now, as you can see, the signal has actually dropped. If I just pause it there for a moment, okay. However, if we commence, even though it's saying we've got a really bad connection, we've got the message on screen, we've got the red bars, I actually have full control of the drone, and we've got a full 1080p 60 frames per second video feed. And basically what this has allowed us to do is fly through that black spot, through that interference. And once again, guys, just to mention, I don't like flying in these situations. I'm not comfortable doing this, flying over roads, flying over people. Well, I suppose it's still unintentional, isn't it? But ultimately, I'm not comfortable in this situation, but I just wanted to complete and bring you this test. And as you can see, the DJI Mini 4 with its ocusync 4.0, that 5.2 GHz frequency has absolutely smashed the other two, kept that connection and that video feed going where the other two dropped out, and it has managed to complete the circuit and made it all the way back to the home point with no issues whatsoever or disconnections. They say the proof is in the pudding, and in this video you have had all the pudding you could possibly eat. The DJI Mini 4 Pro with its ocusync 4 will give you a better, stronger and more reliable connection than ever before. And one additional bonus is ocusync 4 also gives us 60 frames per second feedback either to your mobile phone via the DJI RCN2 or the screen controller, the RC2 as well. So basically you're going to get a slightly smoother video feed on your device. Now I'll be following this video up with a test between the two controllers, the DJI RC2 and the RCN2 with a mobile phone, and the DJI Mini 4, just to see if there is any difference in signal between the two. So now would be a really great idea to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to be notified when I post that video. So please do give me all of your thoughts as to this test in the comment section below. Please do give this video a big thumbs up if you found it useful, and until next time, thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.